world with another famous position from the history of the game, a position you really must know if you call yourself a proper chess fan. It is the 9th of November 1987. Anatoly Karpov, the challenger, is sitting behind the white pieces and opposite him is world champion Garry Kasparov. Karpov became world champion in 1975 when Bobby Fischer refused to defend his world title. He defended it successfully against Viktor Korchnoi in 78 and 81 and lost his world title to Garry Kasparov in 1985. He also lost the revenge match in 1986 and he only had to win one match against Andrei Sokolov to qualify again for the match for the world title, and this was played at the end of 1987 in Sevilla in Spain. It's the 11th game of the match, and this is the position after Black's 34th move, bishop a5 to b6. The score is 5-5 in the match, and as I said, this is game 11 of a total of 24. White, Karpov, is winning in this position. He has an extra pawn, which he got from the opening from a Grunfeld. And not only does he have the extra pawn, Kasparov does not have any compensation for the pawn. With his last move, Kasparov attacks White's bishop on c5. And the best move for Karpov would have been to retreat his bishop to f2. And he retains his extra pawn and has a winning position. But something happened which made it that I chose this game for you today. The live commentator in Sevilla was Grandmaster Gena Sosonko. He writes, and I quote from a book on the match. He says, "In my commentary, I told the public, Karpov is preparing the move rook c6. That's a good positional move. It increases the overall pressure and, oh, but wait, that's not possible. Black plays knight a5 and the rook has no free squares." So he recommended rook c6, a natural move, but then Sosonko saw that it was a blunder. And right at that moment, Karpov played rook c6. And apparently the public raced to the different monitors to make sure that the move was really played. And then Kasparov put up a show, pulled faces, started to giggle, all sorts of emotions he showed, and he probably was also aware that there were cameras on him. Because it is a blunder, because knight a5, the rook has no squares, and the bishop will still attack. The rook has to keep protecting the bishop, but there's no square to do that. Karpov took on b6, Kasparov took the rook, and Karpov played rook c7. So Black has won an exchange, and from a lost position he has now a winning position. This is the adjourned position, and Kasparov and his team analyzed this game, and the next day, in half an hour and 10 more moves, the game was decided. This is the final position. The b-pawn is too strong. White will have to give his bishop for the b-pawn. And then, of course, Black easily wins with its extra rook. A big slap in the face, and again I quote Gena Sosonko. He says that at that moment he thought the game was over. Not only was Karpov a point down now, but he had to win the match. He had to win by a point, because if it would have been 12-12, which was actually the final result of the match anyway. But with 12-12, Kasparov would retain the world title. So in effect, Karpov was 2 points down after this game. And of course, the way he lost this game would leave a lot of scars. And Sosonko thought the match was over. But of course, that was not the case. There were a lot more adventures before we reached a 12-12 at the end of the match, and I will post some other videos on what happened in the 23rd and 24th game. Hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe so you get notified when I post my next video. This is Chess Gold. Thank you for watching.